Wow. Lee's in Mexico. That's awesome. That's all right, Lee. I know it's, of course, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everybody. It's great to be here. The reason I'm doing this today is because tomorrow I have a gig, so I won't be able to do the 4 o'clock tomorrow. So, of course, I understand people are doing things for Father's Day, having meals and traveling. So you're probably watching this in the future, and if you are, I hope you had a happy Father's Day, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm not sure what I'm doing today. I'm going to start with a song just to warm up, and I'm going to take, well, I don't know, it's a free-for-all. I got a few things I want to talk about. I'll demo the Rodecaster Pro again today. So for this, I'm going with one mic straight into channel 2, no processing apart from reverb and delay. And I'll just sing a song, we'll see what it sounds like. It's not time to make a change. Just relax and take it easy. You're still young, it's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl and settle down. If you want to, you can marry. Look at me. I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now. And I know that it's not easy to be calm when you've found something going on. But take your time and think a lot. Think of everything you've got, or you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was all to listen now. There's a way, and I know that I have to go. I know I have to go. If you got a question, don't forget to put the cue before the question so I can check them later on, okay? It's not time to make a change. Just sit down and take it slowly. You're still young. It's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. But find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me. I'm old, but I'm happy. All the times that I cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, then I'd agree. But it's them, they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. Not time to make a change. Just sit down and take it slowly. You're still young. That's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. So find a girl and settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. All the times that I've cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, then I'd agree. But it's them, they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go away. I know I have to go. So what do you think? What do you think of the sound? As you can hear, I've got some reverb and delay on there just to thicken it slightly, but all the other processing is turned off and you're just hearing this microphone here, which is picking up the voice and the guitar. So obviously as I move this microphone down, it'll get more of the guitar, more of the low end. And as I bring it up, I need to bring it up to pick up more of my voice if I'm going to sing, but not too much so it doesn't clip. And the problem is with the mic too high, you'll get not enough guitar. It sounds like this. It sounds like a totally different guitar, doesn't it? You've lost a lot of the low end. That's why the mic position is really important when you're doing a demo or a review or a recording. If the microphone moves slightly, I mean, check this out, ready? You hear that? So that's very extreme what I just did there, but it's just to prove a point. And of course, ideally you want two microphones if you're doing guitar and vocals. But this is just one mic today. John, I see your question. I'll get to that soon. Let's do one more song. I'm enjoying playing the guitar. I might do a few songs, so bear with me. I'll get to gear. I've got a few things to talk about with gear today. David, I saw your question. Send me the question with the cue. I filter the questions through the queue, okay? So send me the cue and then your question. But I'm going to talk about John Mayer guitars today anyway. I just saw one for sale online for $3,000. I need to talk about that. Peter, where you been, my friend? I meant to call you today. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Hi Rosanna, hope you're well. So you're in Mexico, hey? That's really awesome. When you come to New York City, come and see me in New York City. There's a blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the night of a dark black night. Hi Real Ting, got a new guitar this week. David, I'll talk about the OMJM. I've got a lot of thoughts about that. So let me know why you're asking as well. Are you thinking about purchasing one? Let me know the reason. If you tell me the reason behind the question, that will give me more, I can give you more depth on it too. There's a blackbird singing in the dead of night. Oops. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the night of a dark black night. Hey David, what's up, buddy? Happy Father's Day to all. Lee says we'll fly up to New York. Okay, why don't you? But tell Lee if he comes, he's not playing my Authentics, okay? No, sorry Lee, I like you, but no one touches this, okay? You might scratch it. Then again, it's already scratched because it's relict. But then again, it was scratched by Martin, so that's fine. Hi Chazza, how you doing? Played it on the gig last night. It's unreal. Roll the volume back to 6 and it sounds stratty. Unfortunately, the 5708 then sounds thin. Might need to play it. Oh dear. Get ready to tweak, real thing. One of these weeks I'll have to get David and Real Ting on to talk about PRS guitars, because they're PRS guitar fans. The Silver Sky didn't work out for me. I don't have them anymore. I couldn't. They're good, they're great guitars. Actually, the SE for the money is amazing, but I just couldn't, they just didn't do it for me. They didn't do it for me, you know? But I still want the DGT eventually. If they ever make any more of them, they're so back ordered right now. There's a blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken eyes and learn to fly for your wings all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting. Yeah, you were only waiting. This moment, what? To arrive. Oh yeah. I haven't played this for a few days. I love it. David has a Martin UK endorsement. Well, David. Talk about a way to make me jealous. Thank you. I ordered one last November and it's due in the next couple of weeks. Wow. Nervous as ordering one from factory means I haven't tried it. Well, you see, that's why I said let me know why you're asking, because now I'm not going to be as blunt and honest as I was going to be. Yeah, they're great, David. You'll love it. Sorry, I'm such a jerk. Hey, I'm here on YouTube. I've decided to just talk about my experiences, and they're not going to be everybody's, all right? But if you want me to talk about it, David, let me know. I will talk about it. Still trying to get electric guitar, nothing yet. I've only got 2 acoustic and practicing on them. Johan, it might be treble lead circle on the guitar. Change out the value of that cat. Oh. Did I finish that song? You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Any way the wind blows. I presume he's getting an OMJM, real thing. Paul McCartney was just turned 80, right? That's enough of that. Let me put this guitar away. I'm scared I'm going to scratch it. I'll be right back. Give me one. I'll be 10 seconds. Hang on. I need a holiday is what you said to me. I need to get away from you. And as I watched her lying next to me, I wished for a holiday too. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. I wanna be there, yeah, yeah. So, little known fact, that is the real thing playing on that song you just heard right there. Pretty cool. Real thing, you got to come on on my program sometime. We'll talk about the old. No, actually, I don't want to talk about the old days. So, just in case you didn't know, I'm back on. This is all on the Rodecaster Pro. So what I've done is I've actually disconnected. Let me know how the sound is. I think I'm not clipping, so. I've actually disconnected the Apollo Twin completely and uninstalled everything. I'm just using Rodecaster now for everything, just to see how I go, because obviously I want to make sure I made the right purchasing decision with this thing. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. And I've got access to all my sound effects here. And I've got access to my voice effects here as well.
How does that sound? You like that? Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2.
The weird thing with that is I think I can still hear my normal voice. Probably a little bug in there. Anyway, I love the touchscreen. It's awesome. I'll talk about the Rodecaster Pro later on if you want me to. But let's do some questions here because we've got some friends here. So that's the real ting on that song you just heard. The one time I used a dad gag caper. Really? I don't remember how you even played that riff. Hey Mark, how you doing? Good to see you. Lee's got to go for, well, Lee, I mean, if you must go out in Mexico to have a fancy lunch with your wonderful wife, and that's, I mean, I guess that's okay. I mean, I'd rather you were here, to be honest with you, but Marianne, how you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Charlie, good to see you. So I'm now going to go through the questions we've had so far. I'm going to filter by the queue. So that's why the queue is so important, okay? Because everyone's just like chatting, which is great. But if you want me to answer a question, I need the queue. So the first queue was from John Berry. And he says, I want to hear more about the Martin SC13E. I've been eyeing one for a while, but I don't play a lot up high in the neck. This is interesting, John. Yeah, I actually want to talk about this anyway. So let's start with this question right here. So I like it when I can relate these questions to real life. So the other week I went to, hey, David, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It's awesome. Thank you for supporting my channel. I appreciate that. Got lots of good videos coming up. They're just a bit slower lately because I'm gigging and I have to be gigging. But there is still actually a lot of content I'm yet to film that I think you're going to enjoy. So I've still got some secrets up my sleeves too. Was that the new authentic? Oh, hang on. No, let me stay focused right here. I've already deviated from the super chat. So the SC13E, what do we think of this guitar? Does anyone here own the SC13E? Because I don't own one. I played one at the Modern Factory and I didn't like it. I thought it sounded thin and weak and I was just like not impressed. But I played one the other day at Rudy's Music in Soho in New York City and I really liked it a lot. I almost went home with it. They don't know this, but I saw there was a little mark on the neck and I thought, yeah. And I thought, no, it's not, I don't need this. And I'm not really into the pickup. I think that would be a problem for me. The pickup system might not satisfy me enough as someone that's into all these pickups for acoustic guitars. So I didn't buy it, but it really, really impressed me. It really did impress me. Let me see if I can take you over to my screen to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. I want me to take this frame off there so you can see it. Okay, so these are $1,800, right? The price is really good. And let me tell you why I like this thing. It plays really well because it's got 11s on it, so it plays really well. At the same time, it still had a good tone. I really thought that the tone of this would not be good. The action was slightly high, but the tone was very good. I'm very pleased with it. The playability is excellent as well. I think they look really cool. They have the Street Ebony. I really don't mind the Street Ebony at all on these modern guitars like the Acoustasonic and these SC13Es. But the thing is, I feel like the fact that Martin are now using Street Ebony on the standard series, I'm still having a bit of a hard time with that. I know it's very superficial, doesn't really matter. But, oh, actually, sorry, this is the special edition. This is the wrong one. Let me go back here. There is the special now. There's also the 10. If I was going to buy one, and the one that I played was the standard, this first one they released, this is the one that I would get. Well, they just got a load in at Sweetwater too. That's cool. So I don't want to keep going about Street Ebony forever. I know I keep talking about it, but in case you wonder what I'm talking about, look at the neck. I always ask on the show, like, do you like that? People always say they do. For me, it really depends on the pattern of that. And that's why I like having the pictures here. So this one, I don't know if I would choose that one if I had the choice. Let me see if there's another one that I like here. You might find one occasionally as well, which is more uniform. Uniform, you know what I'm trying to say. Like this one, they're all slightly different patterns. So yeah, again, let me know in the chat if you like that or not. But whatever, the price is good here. $1,600. They actually have a demo one for $1,439. So you can actually click on that and get yourself a bit of a deal there, $1,439 if you want to get the demo. There are light scratches on the pick guard where the person's obviously played with a pick and fine scratches. No, it doesn't show up in pictures. So that's a good deal, $1,439. Very cool. Actually, let me just drop this link into the chat in case you want to check it out on your browser. Right here. There we go. Okay, so I thought it sounded really good. It played really well. I love the modern design. I love the fact that you can easily change the neck and all the different gadgets they have on the back to do that with. Let me show you a picture here. So I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you have this mechanism here on the back to actually adjust the neck. A bit like a tailor, you can kind of shim the neck, so you can basically do a neck reset without having to do a neck reset. The guitar I was just playing, the Authentic, is going to be a pain in the butt because it has a truss rod, but it's not adjustable. Okay, and therefore one day it will need a complete neck reset. But all Martins really do, but these new Martins, the SC's models, will not need the neck reset because you can do it yourself like you can with a Taylor. But I think personally, I thought the tone was better than the Taylors myself. So I did like it. I liked it a lot. I would recommend it. Now, for me personally, I'm more interested in the SC Custom. The only problem is this is a seriously expensive instrument. The one we're looking at there is $1,439, right? If we buy the demo. But the custom version that they're going to be releasing in a few months is $8,000. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get one of these. I probably won't. And the reason they're so expensive is this inlay work here on the neck, you see. Hey, at least you don't get the Street Ebony on this one. I'm being sarcastic. But you get this inlay work. Now, the inlay work on a guitar like this always adds a lot to the cost. So if they eventually make a version without that, it will be cheaper. And the reason that they are not making these supposedly in the factory right now is they don't have the tooling to do it. So the only way they can make this in Nazareth is to use the custom shop to do it, okay? But I really like it. If this was like $5,000, I would definitely want to get one of these. Maybe $4,500 without the inlay work, I would get one and probably gig it. The pickup sounds very good. It's using Aura HD. I think I'd really like this guitar a lot. But there we go. Your question was about the SC13E. Yeah, I think you should get one. I think, like I said, I think for me, they play and sound really good. The price is right. I love the features. I love the way you can set them up. The pickup for me might be an issue because I'm so deep into pickups now that I think a Fishman kind of basic undersaddle would not satisfy me. I would probably take it out and put something else in there. And that's something I haven't sort of looked into, so I don't want to talk about that too much right now because I'm not even sure of how possible it is or how difficult it is. So that's what I think. I think if you're looking for a guitar that's easy to play and for stage and it's like a backup to your main guitar, yeah, I say go for it. I think they're really great. Okay. So the next question was another Martin question. In fact, they're all Martin questions so far. Do I still have the OMJM? Oh, here we go. You want to talk about the John Mayer guitars again? Okay, fine. So, David, great to see you here. I know you play PRS, and I know you're a big fan of John Mayer. You've mentioned that before. So I've owned a couple of OMJMs in the past, and I never really loved them. They never really did it for me. Some people don't like the narrow nut. I'm okay with that. I think the narrow nut and the wide nut, they're basically the same thing to me. I love the look of them. I don't mind the fact it's a signature. Some people don't like signature guitars. It doesn't bother me. I love the rosette around the sound hole. I love everything about them. But to me, I don't think they sound as good as a standard OM28. So I've actually told people on the channel recently asked me about the OMJM, maybe you should consider a standard OM28 or OM42, because for that price, you can get an OM42. So my advice to most people is to get the OM28 and put your own pickup system in there. Again, it's an undersaddle Fishman that comes with the OMJM, which is fine. It's the Matrix, so I prefer it more to the one that's in the SC, but I still don't think it would be enough for me based on, what I know about myself and pickup systems. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm just checking something here. Yeah, so let me just bring it up on the screen as well so I can show people what we're talking about, because some people are thinking, what's an OMJM, Aaron? OMJM, John Mayer Martin, is this one here. I love the look. I love the Engelmann top. Now, sometimes with the Engelmann tops, you get that kind of two-color effect where they're not completely book matched. So that can be a little bit odd looking, which is a good reason why you want to look at your guitar before you purchase one. And I love the rosette around the sound hole. Like I said, the pickup is decent, but again, I know a lot of people that bought these have put the Anthem and stuff in them, changed the pickup system out, so you're paying extra for that pickup. So for me, $4,000 for a guitar, I might take the pickup out and put another one in. Also, it doesn't come with a strap button on there, like most guitars with pickups from Martin do. There's no strap button. So for me to spend $4,000, add a strap button, change the pickup system, and not be totally in love with the guitar unplugged, which I think may be because they also don't use the dovetail neck joint. They use a simple dovetail neck joint. That's why I'm not recommending it. Now the custom shop, I still have the custom shop version, is excellent, but so is an OM28. And an OM28 is not much different to the OMJM. They're basically the same guitar. All right, so bear that in mind. They're basically the same guitar. So I know I feel awkward telling. I know I told David to tell me why he wants to know, and now I feel bad because I'm kind of slamming the guitar. I mean, they're good, and some people love them. And you mentioned you have an endorsement with them. I mean, if you're not paying for the guitar, or if you're paying less money for the guitar, maybe you'll love it. And please let me know when you get it if you do love it, because this is just my opinion. But for most people that are paying the full price right now for the guitars, this would be my advice. I would get an OM28 and install something like a Lyric or an Anthem or something like that, K&K, whatever you like. You'd save money. You'd have better resale value. I think you'd have a better sounding acoustic guitar. If you've got the extra money, you could get the OM42, which is a really classic guitar. And I think they sound a little bit better, even though they're mostly cosmetic differences. I'd rather get an OM42 over the OMJM. Some people have asked me about getting the custom shop version. Well, yes, you can, but they're very expensive. Again, going to have not great resale value. I think if I had to make a decision and not kind of like, be indecisive right now, I would get an OM28 or an OM42, depending on budget, and then install a pickup and a strap button. That's what I would do personally. But also ignore me lately, because I'm really not. I've really gone off the standard series Martins lately. I'm all in now on the Authentics. I think the Authentic Martins are just up another level. I just do. I just love them. Like this guitar here, compared to all the HD28s and D28s I've played, it just blows them all away. I just love it. And it's more than just the sound. It's like the feel, the vibe. I know some people aren't into that, but for me, the feel and the vibe of the guitar and the sound and everything, it's just there. And by the way, we just found a video of me in Nashville playing an actual 1942, I think, or maybe earlier, Martin D28. It was 32 grand. And I love that guitar. And I've got a video of that. I'll be putting it up on the channel sometime this week. So check out that video. But 32.5 grand is very different to the 7.5 that I spent on this. You know, that's a lot of guitars now are going up to like $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000. But 32.5, that's serious. A serious investment. And that's what those guitars are. They're an investment, right? So John said, was that the new Authentic? So there is now a new Authentic, which I was kind of complaining about the other week, right? How can the Authentic Martins now be even more authentic than they were authentically authentic? So I don't mind. So just so you know, I wasn't disappointed they announced the new Authentic Martin. I kind of heard rumors out there on the web that the Madagascar was getting a bit harder to find. And this one has the Madagascar on the back. And that's why I wanted to get it, because they're not using it anymore. I'm not saying it's better than Rosewood. In fact, I played one of these at Rudy's that was awesome. That has a Rosewood back and side with an adjustable truss rod. And I like that as much as this one. And it was also cheaper. But I just feel like, as someone that also likes things you can't get anymore, the Madagascar on the back and sides would be a cool thing to have. And I am completely happy with this purchase. I love this guitar. And that's going to be a keeper for me the rest of my life. So that's absolutely fine, all right? But that's not the new Authentic. The new Authentics are interesting. So they have a different back and side wood, and supposedly they're more authentic. If you look at the top of that guitar, you see how it's rounded where it meets the fretboard, like here? See if I can do it. Ready? You see that? You see that here? Well, apparently the actual guitars were not like that. They were more square. Not square, but they were... Imagine if I took my hand and pushed that down like that. They were slightly more square. And I guess that will affect the look of the guitar. I guess it'll affect the sound a little bit as well, right? So, yeah, so it's interesting. I'd love to play one, but I'm not disappointed with my purchase at all. It wasn't like Apple, where you buy something and a week later they announce the new version and you wish you got the new version, right? I'm not feeling that at all, just so you know. Okay, I think I got another question there. Let me see. Just fixing this thing. If you're new here, please subscribe, ring the bell. I really would appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so I got another one here from David. How do you rate the Baggs Anthem? I was thinking of whacking that in the old JM for live. Hey, well, David, don't whack it in there because you might break the guitar, okay? But you could put it in there, yes. My thing lately is, and I try to have opinions. I don't like watching channels where they just say, this is good, this is good, this is good. I try to have an opinion, even though I tell people my opinion will always change over the years. It will do, right? But for me, the Cole Clark system is one of the best systems that comes in a guitar from the factory. And the LR Baggs Anthem is one of the best systems that you add to a guitar later on. Next week, I'm going to be reviewing the Baggs Lyric, which is a cool system because there's only a mic. There's no under saddle piezo tone, and therefore there's nothing under the saddle. I will be reviewing that soon. And I think that could be a good option too. But I think you're playing out on big stages. So I think if you're playing out live on big stages and want a reliable tone, the Anthem is the way to go. Definitely. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would probably take the pickup. Well, no, actually, I would get the OMJM. I would try it, see if you like it, because that's got a matrix in there, which is a good system. I got Gold Plus, which is basically a matrix. It is a very good sounding pickup for what it is. You could also blend that with an external mic, but if you want an all-in-one kind of mic-based system, the Anthem is the way to go, definitely. And there's the Anthem SL and the full Anthem. The SL is really cool because it's kind of less visual. The guitar looks more kind of stock because the controls are smaller. But then the full Anthem has a bit more control over the sound, which I think you might enjoy. So there's a few things to consider there. Let me see what you're saying about the... I missed all this here. Let's see if I missed any good chat here. I'd like to take the rare opportunity to wish... Oh, that's David DeAndre, a happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all. Peter says, give Aaron a thumbs up. If you're listening on a cell phone, turn it upright so you can see the thumbs up button. Oh, interesting. I have a partial capo that just fretted the second fret of the A, D, and G, leaving E, B, E, A, B, E tuning, but allowing standard tuning shapes, mainly the D sharp. Oh, okay. I forgot that. It's been so long since we recorded that. That was a highlight, a life highlight though, recording that album. I tried to get the masters from the producer, but he never got back to me. I'd love to have the masters so I could make some backing tracks. David has the SC13E. So David, are you still using 11s on it? What do you think of the guitar? Are you still very happy with it? Do you like it more than when you got it? Like less than when you got it? Have you changed the action? Have you changed the bridge pins? Have you changed the strings? Anything like that? Let me know. I don't mind the streaks. It's environmentally friendly and I'm legally blind anyway. Yeah, John, it's interesting. Usually when something like this happens, the internet goes crazy. I've not seen anyone mind the streaked ebony. I don't know. I honestly, I'm kind of in the middle. I think certain pattern, it's a new kind of pattern on the neck, isn't it? So some streaked ebony can look really incredible. The same way some bear claw can look incredible. But to me, some bear claw and streaked ebony can look not as attractive. I'm not going to say ugly, but less attractive. And I guess for me, I'm just so used to seeing the ebony that's been dyed. I think Martin used to just dye the boards, but maybe they did research and people said they prefer the streaked ebony. I mean, who am I to comment? But I am happy that the Martins I own do not have the streaked ebony, and I haven't got to worry about that. So for me, that's a good thing. Real Ting says OM28 or OM28JM. So Real Ting is the one that went and picked up the OM28JM for me that I foolishly sold. I think OM28JM is better than OM28, and it's also worth a lot more money. It's a much better investment. Yes, the OM28JM is one of the most revered guitars in the world, but to buy one now in mint condition, you're looking at least 14 grand. My point really is if you buy an OM28 today, it's $3,200. Let me just check that. If you buy one used, as you would do, you get a really great deal. Let me see. So the OM28, I'm talking new prices. I mean, obviously, if you can often find these online on forums for like $2,500. That's a deal. But even if you bought one new today, right, at $3,200, and there's actually a demo of an OM28 on Sweetwater right now for $2,879. But if you bought one at $3,200, that is 5 times cheaper than the OM28 John Mayer would be, and half the price of a custom OM28 John Mayer without the wait. I mean, the waiting time. And also, just so you know, because you might not know this, the Martin prices are going up $200 on the standard series on the 1st of July. So if you're thinking about getting an OM28, even if they're out of stock in all your local dealers, I would order one today in the hope they honor that price, because the prices are going up $200 on July the 1st. And for me, it's like, that's going to make the OM28 Standard series, $3,400. It's like, well, you know, if I was you, I'd buy this demo model right now. Yeah, I'm going to give you this tip here. Like, check this out. If you're even considering one of these guitars right now, go on Sweetwater and buy this. Use my link if you want to. I'd appreciate it, but that's not why I'm showing you this. I'm showing you this because if you're even considering a Standard Series Martin right now, and the OM28 is a great guitar, you can get this demo model. It says there's scratches on the pick guard, of course, from the pick, right? And other fine scratches that you can't see. So this has just been lightly played like it would be at a dealership. And this is $2,879. The back is really nice. It doesn't have street ebony. It doesn't have the wings. It has Grover tuners. So basically, if you're looking for one of these right now, you should just buy this, because at $2,879, July the 1st, this is going to be $3,400 for a new one, and it will probably have street ebony, which you may or may not prefer. But if you're looking for one of these without streaked ebony, then I would get this. I would just buy this right now. So I'm not telling people to buy stuff, but just that's honestly what I would do. If I was looking for an M28, well, first of all, I'd look on the forums and Reverb to see if there's a used one for maybe $2,200. And if there's not, I would get this one right now. So that's the honest truth. All right. John says, I'm happy you found something you love, finally. I mean, there's been a lot of guitars that I love. And I don't know. What I've realized lately, John, is you have to commit to gear as well. Because the problem now is there's so much gear around that it's easy to keep going from thing to thing. And it's easy to own a lot of things that do the same thing. So with this guitar, for example, I had to decide, I'm going to sell the HD28, I'm going to sell the D28, I'm going to use this guitar. And although some days I might think, oh, this doesn't have the bottom end of the HD28, it's a bit tighter sounding, it doesn't have the neck of the D28, it's a bit fatter at the heel. Well, I can't justify, I don't want to have 3 guitars that I never play. So I'm going to commit to this one. So I think that's the thing with gear. It's the same, like you can see I've got my Captor X behind me here, this white one. And I've got the aux box. And what I'm trying to do right now is compare them both. I love them both. The aux box is excellent, it's bigger. The Captor X I think is excellent and it's smaller. I'm trying to decide this week which one I prefer and then see if I can just stick to one of them and sell the other one without wondering if I'll miss it. Because I don't want to have like duplicate gear. And it's the same with the Rodecaster Pro. I love this Rodecaster Pro, right?
The Rodecaster Pro is really fun.
This thing is cool. I love it. It's really fun. It's got these sound effects here. It's got the physical sliders. Like when you're doing a live stream, and that's why I wanted to go live today as well. I wanted to see how this thing is to use. This is much more fun than the Apollo is, but the Apollo I may need for recording, so I may have to keep both of them. But if I can just keep the Rodecaster Pro, I would consider selling the Apollo. But yeah, I think that's the point that I'm trying to make is I don't want lots of duplicate stuff because there's so much gear now. There's too many guitars. There's too many ways to amplify an electric guitar. Too much of everything out there. So what I want to do is really kind of narrow down what do I actually need, what do I actually like. I'm not saying that I'm not going to be interested in new products that come out. I'm not going to feature them on the channel. Of course I will. I love gear. But I don't need to have like 10 ways to amplify my electric guitar. I need maybe 2 or 3, right? At the most. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. So David changed the strings on his SC13E to 12s and uses Diodario power pins. A lot of people use those power pins, especially on the Acoustasonic guitars, I've noticed. The chap that sold me the Cole Clark that I currently use at my gigs use power pins. The only problem with the power pin, not a problem, but they do leave a mark at the bridge. So my bridge has marks where the power pins were, but I understand why people like them. It stops the ball end falling into the guitar. and it makes string changes faster. So maybe I'll try those at some point. And I'm sure the 12s sound bigger on that guitar too. And if you don't play a lot of solos up the neck, then why not have 12s on there, right? As soon as you play with any sort of conviction, you'll scratch the pick guard anyway. Well, that's the thing. You know, when Sweetwater say, here's a used guitar for a discount, it's got light scratches on it. I mean, think about it. The minute you take a guitar out the case and play it with a pick, especially a pick like I use, like one of these Jazz 3s. I'm going to get it. You know what it is? It's my face, because it's tracking my face. I think. There we go. As soon as you use a pick like that, you're going to scratch it. And at the end of the day, if you go to a dealer like Rudy's Music, those guitars have been played by 50, 60 people. They've got those scratches anyway. So that's my point. But they will still charge you the full price. They will not give you a discount, as far as I'm aware. They'll charge you the full price out the door, even though it's been played by 50 or 60 people. And that's just a guess, by the way. Let's say, for example, it's been played by 50 or 60 people. The chances are, as far as I know, I'm trying to be covering my back here, is that they'll still charge you the full price. So the fact that Sweetwater will give you that discount and it's been played by 1 or 2 people, I think is really great. It's a great way to go. Oh, God, I didn't know this. I ordered the Rodecaster Pro for our school podcast studio last summer. It's fantastic. So easy to use too. Raising me to train kids to record podcasts. Yeah, I know. I love it. I really, really love it. And I was going to get the Procaster, the one you have there, original one, when we locked down. And the reason I didn't get it is it didn't have a way to plug in my guitar easily. This one has the combo jacks in there, so I can connect the guitar directly to the back, and it's got reverb and basic EQ. That's why I got it. And I just love this thing. I know I've spoken to you about this before, about sliders. I love having the sliders, because when you're doing a podcast and sitting here at the desk, you kind of want to ride the sliders, right? So say someone gives me, say I just finished a song, I want an applause. I might want to just turn this fader up and hit the applause button. And then fade it out. Or I might want to do like the crickets and fade them up. Or, sorry, the trombone. I might want to fade it up. So I can fade it down again. So I have complete control. I love that. I don't have that with my Apollo Twin. And the Apollo Twin only has 2 inputs. This has 4 inputs, 4 headphone connectors in case you want to do a podcast with other people. You can Bluetooth to it. So I could actually Bluetooth my iPhone to this and bring it in as a channel. So if someone called me now on FaceTime audio, I can run it into the mixer and send it through to the stream. That is really cool. Because I've had, like, in the past, remember I interviewed Chris Martin and he wanted to do it through the phone. So now I can just Bluetooth the phone to this and bring them in as a guest. So I can do phone calls. This does so much cool stuff that, like, the Apollo does not do. It's just great. For this live stream and podcasting and stuff like that, I think it's really impressive. And this version 2 is really cool. And I haven't even touched on things like you can record directly to the device. So you can record to an SD card. You can't do that on the Apollo Twin. The Apollo Twin is just a really nice low latency interface with 2 inputs, and it gives you access to their plugins. But actually, Apollo Universal Audio recently allowed the plugins to be used without their hardware using their new system. What's it called? They've got, I forgot what it's called, but, here it is. UA Connect. They've got a way now of actually using their plugins with other interfaces like this one. So that's really nice. Yeah, I love it. I'm looking at it now. And the touchscreen is really nice, and you can see the levels going in. Of course, I can see the levels on my screen as well. But I can assign stuff to different things. I can add effects easily. It's really great. It really is great. I'm really, really happy with it. Now, I want to talk about this because I did this review and it was cool. Oh, cool. Thank you, T. Appreciate it. That's why I play gear with scratches. After a few months, it'll be the same. Well, yeah, exactly. You save money up for about it and you just play it like it was meant to. You know, the funny thing for me, the thing that makes me laugh about myself is that, and I kind of have a theory for this, but I love shiny new guitars that are fresh out of the box and not scratched at all. There's something really nice about a brand new thing, right? There is, even though you know they'll get scratched over time because you're playing it. There's something really nice about a brand new guitar. There is. But when I bought this Authentic, I chose the aged version, right? What that means is they've gone and aged it. They've scratched it up. They've scratched the neck, not the back of the neck. There's no dings in the back, but they've like scratched the side of the neck. They've scratched the sound hole. They've put a ding in the body. And it just made me laugh to myself. I'm like, here I am stressing over dings on new instruments. And then here I am paying more for an instrument that's had dings deliberately put into the guitar. I mean, what's that all about? Am I crazy? Well, I am crazy. But I get it. It's almost like because Martin did it, or because Fender did it, that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. But when you buy a new guitar and scratch it, that's not how it was supposed to. I think that's my mentality with it. But I know some people are really against relicking guitars. I think for me, I love brand new guitars and I love relic guitars equally for different reasons. That's what it comes down to. But it's a great point. If you're okay with relic guitars, why not buy a used one, which is essentially relicked, and also save $1,000, right? So I had some comments on the Rodecaster Pro 2, or I saw other people's reviews, and I feel like people are being too harsh these days on gear. I am personally, I know I'm very fussy and overly critical of new gear, and whenever I open something new, I'm looking for the negatives before I look for the positives. I know that. And even though I know that about myself, I've seen people review or talk about the Rodecaster Pro 2, and I think they're being really unfair about it. Because someone said on my channel, and I'm not having to go at you, and this is just my opinion, but someone said, and by the way, some things I do agree. Someone said the power button kind of feels squishy. I agree with that. The power button does feel a bit weird. Like a switch would be nicer. You just hit a switch and it turns on, you flick the switch. This kind of soft power button on the back, it does feel a bit strange. I do agree with that. But there was someone said about like, oh, the casing is loose. And actually I noticed that on mine. I pressed down, it kind of clicked into place. And I thought, yeah, well, you know, it's plastic. Like now it's solid, it's fine. Someone else said it takes a long time to turn on. I mean, it takes 25 seconds. I timed it, 25 seconds to turn on, and my M1 Mac takes 25 seconds to turn on. So does that really matter? If the Mac takes as long to turn on as the interface, isn't that fine? And they said it takes longer to turn off. But no, for me, it takes 15 seconds to turn off. I don't know. I feel like nowadays we're buying a piece of gear on day one as it's out the door. And I'm not saying that on day one it shouldn't be perfect. It should be. Like there's still gear I own that I'm waiting for them to really make it perfect, or just the level I want it to be. But I just feel lately like we all want to get the new gear on day one, and then we're looking for every little issue and a reason to return it or to say it's no good online. And that just surprises me because I am really fussy. And so the fact that I'm thinking that people are being a bit over the top, I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like I'm using my own kind of fussiness as a kind of gauge, and I just think you got to be a little bit forgiving. I mean, like this Rodecaster Pro 2, as soon as I took it out of the box, I was looking for problems, and I thought I found some problems, and I was gonna return it, but then I realized that some of that was user error, and some of those were not real problems. And then once I actually started using it in the way it's intended to be used, I fell in love with it, and now I really like it. And I think it's great. I mean, are there things they can change and improve? Yes. And I still think you shouldn't buy one on the hope they will improve things, because you never should buy a piece of gear because, oh, they're going to fix that down the line. You should never do that. But even as it is right now, I think it's a really good product. The price is really good for what it gives you. And Rode have a history of doing updates, so I think they will continue to improve it, which is a great thing. But I just think it's great. It's giving me things that my other interface didn't give me at half the price. And I think it's great. So I think the internet can be a dangerous place. And that's one reason why I started my own channel, just to give my thoughts. But you know, by the way, I'm worried sometimes I might offend someone or say the wrong thing, and sometimes I might backtrack on what I say. But I just feel like the danger now is there's all these forums and Facebook groups and videos, and one comment that you read on someone's video in the comment section that says one damaging thing could stop you buying something, and that comment isn't even true. So do be careful with that stuff. Be careful with that stuff. I'm trying to be conscious myself because I don't want to ruin a company's product. I could have gone live and said, "Oh, I don't like this. My Apollo sounds much better. Like there's a weird noise or something." That's why I took my time and really tested it first of all before I actually made the review. And if I didn't like it, I probably wouldn't have made the review anyway. I would just returned it. I don't want to make loads of reviews on my channel that are just negative. I don't see the point unless I need to say something like, "Hey, I know you're all buying this and be careful because there's this problem." I would do something like that, like something I want to share. And I usually share that stuff more in the live streams as well. I'm not going to make an actual video just like slamming something, right? But I just think lately we're all really looking for the negatives and stuff. I think it's great, and it hasn't, knock on wood, it hasn't crashed on me. The Wi-Fi is working well. I think the audio sounds excellent. I'm really happy with the sound of it. So I like it. If you're into podcasting, what a great time we live in. You can buy something like an Apple M1 Mac Mini and the Rodecaster Pro 2, and you've got an incredible live streaming setup that you can take around with you as well. It's like really portable. So. Yeah, I already said that. Isn't it weird you're okay paying more for a relic guitar, but don't want to save money by buying one that was authentically worn to actual? That's what I just said. I wasn't referencing your point, by the way, when I said that. I was. I've already thought that's funny to myself the last few weeks. How crazy that attitude, that mentality is. Who are the people who get so suddenly inspired that they can't wait 25 seconds to hit them? Exactly right. Exactly. I mean, it's always nice when a piece of gear turns on faster. Like on the Quad Cortex, it takes a little while to boot up. If you get to the gig, it's always nice if you hit the power button that's just on, isn't it? It's always a nice thing. Thank you, Bernard. Appreciate it. Happy Father's Day. It's always nice when that happens. It's always nice when that happens. But the thing is, I don't know. I get it. It's not, if a computer, that's why I love the M1 Mac, right? It boots up in 25 seconds. My old computer used to boot up in a minute or two. So I do get it. I just don't know if that's a negative thing, or maybe they didn't mean it's a negative thing. Maybe it's just an observation, and maybe they want Rode to improve that, and Rode will improve that. I don't know. Like I said, on my videos lately, I'm just trying to give my experience, my opinions, and I was really happy with the video I made about the Rodecaster Pro 2 because I do really like it, and I felt like that came through in the video. My satisfaction and excitement came through, and I was really pleased about that. Jerry, how you doing?
Jerry Cherry in the house! Yeah!
All right, Ray. Have you played an older Martin D28 with Brazilian back and sides? Is it really worth all the extra money versus East Indian rosewood? So there's actually a video, I just mentioned, Ray, there's a video coming. It never ceases to amaze me how, and I think this is just a great thing. I do the live stream and someone asks a question and I've actually got something planned. I don't know what that means, but it's a great thing. Great when that happens. And it seems to happen quite a lot, which is cool. So I mentioned it earlier, but when I was in Nashville in the summer, I found a D28 with Brazilian. It was $32,500 and I loved it. It was at Carter Vintage Guitar in Nashville, and I actually have a video of me talking about it and playing it in the store. And that's an older video, but we dug it out yesterday and I'm going to post it. I'm going to edit it and post it. So you'll see that this week. Is it worth the extra money? Well, talking about used guitars again, here's the thing with that. And here's the thing that stopped me remortgaging the apartment to get it. The D28 I played was great. Very thin neck, great tone. The problem is when you buy like an old guitar like that, this takes what Real Ting is saying to an even more extreme. a few points, okay? So D28, the original D28 from, let's say, 1942, whatever. Different bridge, replaced the pick guard, refretted it, re-lacquered it. Does it get to a point where I was like, well, you've done so much to this guitar that the only thing that's actually original is the back and sides Brazilian rosewood? Is that worth $32,500? Or is it better at that point to get an authentic? That's a question I'll give to you, an argument I'll give to you. Also, with the guitar that old, like, how is it structurally? Has someone gone in there and I mean, I've got friends, I'm not going to name any names, but I've got friends that will buy a new guitar and redo the bracing inside. They'll scallop they'll file down the braces and re-brace it, revoice it. How do you know that original guitar hasn't been revoiced and changed? And you'll argue, well, if it sounds better, then that's fine, and I agree with that. That is fine. But I just feel like for that kind of money, there's too many things that can go wrong from it. Is that the right word? I just think these I keep gushing over these, but look, these authentic Martins, first of all, I think they are the Martin sound. They are the Martin that I've always wanted, right? But they're also new. They're brand new. They have a warranty. Everything's in there is new. It's from the factory still. It hasn't been around. And I think the original guitars are cool because they're old guitars, because they've been played by a lot of different people. Don't get me wrong. But the point I'm trying to make is, if I spend $32,500 and then find out the only original part of that guitar is the back and sides, I don't know. I just don't. That doesn't really work for me. Maybe if you gave me one and it's like, this is all original, kept in its case its whole life, that's different. But I just see a lot of these old guitars where they've just changed so much on the guitar. It's not really the original guitar anymore. That's how I feel anyway. So let me know what you think. Is it worth it though? I tell you what, I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I considered selling everything I own and buying that guitar that I played in Nashville. I considered it. And the reason is, it's a great guitar, it's got the history, and it will go up in value, I'm sure. I'm sure in 10 years that'll be worth 50K, and you could always sell it and make money, which you don't often do on a guitar. So they are worth it, but are you, this is the question you have to ask yourself is, are you willing to spend that kind of money on a guitar? Oh, the Mac Mini. Oh, you have the Mac Mini, Jerry? He wants the Studio. You know, it's interesting. Usually when they bring out a new Mac, like the Apple Mac, like they brought out the Studio, I would want it because it is technically twice as fast as my MacBook Pro, but I don't want it because my MacBook Pro M1 is so fast and so quiet and so incredible. And it also gives me the second screen. So right now I'm looking at my 32-inch display right now with all my stuff on for the stream. And the side of it, I have the laptop with the 14-inch display with Sweetwater. And I've got my iPhone here with the stream on it on YouTube to make sure that's right. I'm absolutely in heaven. I love this rig, and I wouldn't change it for the Studio. It's amazing. Like what Apple have done with their latest processors, and I'm not just being a fanboy, they're absolutely out of this world. I'm so satisfied with them. Amazing. Yeah, I bought the, yeah, that's right. I bought the, I bought the Rodecaster Pro just to do stuff like that.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry in the house. Oh, Jerry in the house. Someone said, are the big pads on this thing, the big colored buttons, responsive? They are. They're so responsive, you could basically use them to trigger samples and play in real time. They're really nice. And they light up brighter when you use them. And then what I've done is my little Stream Deck that I love, I just use now for things like this. And I think you can do that on the Rodecaster as well. But I decided like the Rodecaster, the 8 pads on there can just be for the sound effects now, things like this. And then the Stream Deck can just be to show me how many people are watching and trigger things like this. So the Stream Deck now is just doing stuff, you know, the graphics basically, and all that, like, yeah. So that's my plan. Just have the Stream Deck doing the graphics and the text, and have the Rodecaster doing all the audio. It's just great. So happy with it. I do get wanting things to start quickly. Yeah, me too. A limiter cut out on my PA last night mid-set. Oh, a limiter cut out. It took a minute to start. Oh, on the Kemper. Huh? I definitely want to load quicker for a podcast. Explain, please. What do you mean? A limiter cut out on my... What do you mean a limiter cut out on the PA? Oh, you mean the power strip cut out and you had to restart the Kemper? Yeah. I mean, look, I agree with you. Every piece of gear you own, you want it to start up quickly. I totally get that. Who doesn't want something just to turn on and start working immediately? Who wants to wait even 10 seconds? I get it. But I don't see that as a reason to give it a negative on the first day of release. And maybe they can speed it up in time. But usually with a piece of gear, there's something like with the JBL products. The app is very glitchy. They told me that will be fixed in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, great. Then I'll review it. I decided not to review that or talk about it until that's done. For me, that is a bit of a deal breaker. But with this Rodecaster Pro 2, again, knock on wood, because as I say this, the whole thing will probably explode. But with the Rodecaster Pro 2, there's no deal breakers. It's great. I really, I don't see any deal breakers at all. I'm trying to think, like the Apollo Twin has the digital input, which is nice because the aux box can go in there and it frees up a channel and gives you stereo sound digitally. That's nice. This doesn't have that. But this has the 4 inputs where the Apollo only really has the 2 physical inputs. And to get an Apollo with 4 physical inputs plus the SPDIF, the digital connection, is $2,200. You've got to consider the money as well, right? You've got to consider the price as well. You want the studio to put it to sleep every day. Yeah, that's the thing. With the Mac, you can just sleep it. And you can with the... with my Quad Cortex, you can just put it to sleep. I usually turn stuff off though. I like with the computer, I like to know the computer's been switched off and then switch it on again fresh when I do stuff. Oh, no problem, buddy, no problem. I get it. Yeah, I think you'll like it. I didn't compare the actual guitar to the like the authentic. I didn't do that. Just so you know. But I do play it. It's just a phone video, but I play it. It's cool. I couldn't find it on the website, but it never was on the website. They may still have it for sale. I'm not sure. It was a great guitar. Really nice thin neck too. I mean, the neck on this one is fatter, but I don't mind that. Again, maybe the neck on the one I played at Carter Vintage was sanded down. Who knows, right? But that was just a really cool guitar. It sounds like the authentic has filled that need for an awesome older Martin. It has, totally has. I mean, I know they're $7,000, but a guitar like this, an original one, would be 40, 50, 100 grand, right? And honestly, I'm not just saying this, I really feel that these authentic guitars are just a big step up from the standard series. I don't really have any desire anymore for a standard Martin. I'm not saying that as some kind of snob. I think these sound a lot better. Okay, they're not for everyone. The saddle is glued in. The truss rod on mine is not adjustable. They're not for everybody, right? I wouldn't want to tour with this thing maybe unless I had a great tech with me. But the tone is just awesome. And by the way, some of the good dealers like Rudy's, they have this program where they can order these authentics with modern features. So Rudy's actually has like authentics with adjustable truss rods and things, and non-VTS and whatever they want on the guitar. So worth checking those out. If you want something that's not quite as authentic, but is a bit more modern, I'd check those out. And I personally would take these over the Modern Deluxe and the Standard Series any day of the week myself. Jerry says, I love my Mac Mini M1. My next computer for Pro Tools and video editing would be the studio. Yeah, but do you need it? Like, I was recording full band tracks on the old Intel iMac, and this thing just cuts through 4K video like nothing. I think Apple are now like overpowered. The Apple stuff now is just totally overpowered, which is a good thing. Oh, yes. You see, this is something that I don't think about anymore. So if you're in the USA, you'll get a kick out of this. In the UK, a lot of the venues have sound limiters. And what these are is a big box with a color display that goes green, yellow, and red. And this box is stuck to the wall. Usually while you're playing on the stage, you can see this thing in front of you on the ceiling, on the top of the ceiling, right? And this thing bounces up and down. And what happens is, as you get louder, it goes green, yellow, red. And they set the limit to a certain value, which usually isn't that loud. And Realting will tell us, I'm sure, right? So what happens is if you stay in the red too long, the power cuts out. So you're like, Mustang, Sally, and then you're literally, the power just turns off. Now these things are terrible, aren't they? Because first of all, couldn't that damage your equipment? That's my first question. You can let me know, Realting. Can that damage your equipment? I'm sure it can. Second of all, you look really stupid when suddenly you're playing and then there's no. I'm talking about myself, by the way. This used to happen to me in the UK. So you're playing on stage and then suddenly there's no sound. So what does the audience think? Oh, the band's gear doesn't work, right? It's a problem with their gear. I don't know, but I get it. They do it so the band doesn't play too loud. But for me, it's just like, I don't know. I do get it. I understand. And the solution is not to trigger it. But I have memories of playing at those venues. Looked like I'm playing the whole night looking up at the screen. Oh, it's in the red. Stop playing. Okay, it's in the yellow now. Okay. Oh, it's in the red. So I'll sing softer, sing softer. Oh, horrible. Jerry Cherry's in the USA. Have you ever played a venue with one of those? I don't think I've played a bar in New York that has one of those. And I also remember the bass player saying things like, it's not just the volume, it's certain frequencies. It's certain frequencies that come through, right? And so he has to not play a B, because a B will trigger it just because of the frequency of the note or something. Oh, it's just crazy. Oh, man. Jerry likes to have two computers. Well, Jerry has two computers at once. One for live only, one for Pro Tools and audio. I can't. Yeah, actually, I see that a lot. I see a lot of people saying you should have a computer that's just for live streaming and don't put anything else on it. And I kind of get that. But again, I just feel like the M1 Macs are so powerful that they can just deal with anything, you know? Matthew, how you doing? Hey, Aaron, watching the live stream on my TV. Hey, I'm on TV. Hi, everyone. The volume on. Well, I'm glad you got the volume on, mate. I'm going to be fussy now. This sound effect, too fast. They should have made it slower. It should be dun. Anyway, and by the way, it's really easy when you connect this to the computer. You can add your own sound. So I added, for example, my theme tune. Look. And there's also an effect here which is ducking. So I'll play that, and as I press the ducking button and talk, the volume will dip. So here's without the ducking. Ready? This is a test. This is Aaron Short. Welcome to Aaron Short Music TV on Matthew Carver's TV. Great to be here today, Matthew. Now I'll do it again, but I'll press the ducking button as I talk. Check it out. This is Aaron Short live on Matthew Carver's TV. Great to be here, Matthew. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you having the sound on today. So do you see what it did? As I was talking, it automatically lowered the volume so the music was quieter. That is cool. I love stuff like that. So good. And I don't use much audio as I'm doing my streams, but I probably should do, because it would be more like a radio show. If you had different themes and music going on, I could make it in Band in the Box, and I could play things while I'm doing the news, and I could do things like...
Now it's time for the news.
You just make it more fun, Realting says it's ridiculous. You have to wait 2 minutes for everything to start up again. It can damage equipment and blow fuses. Yep. And then you spend the whole night watching the limiter. Yep. You see, that's the thing. Tube amps are sensitive. So tube amps, you're supposed to put them on standby and then turn them off. So if you're playing and suddenly the power trips at the venue, that's really bad for a tube amp for a start. And then even digital stuff, if you turn it off, it can be really bad for it. Jerry, we were just saying, so venues in the UK have these boxes on the wall that are connected to the stage power supply. So what happens is if you play a certain volume and you play too loud for too long, it turns off the power to the stage. So it has a meter, green, yellow, red. And as you're playing, it's usually in front of the band so you can see it on the wall. And if you're playing and it goes into red and it stays in red for more than 5 seconds, the power goes off. Have you ever had that at one of the venues you play it with your function bands in America? That was my question. Very cool. Now, yeah, I mentioned earlier again about John Mayer again. That as I logged on today, I saw I'm always looking at like stuff for sale, and someone on Facebook. I'm not gonna show it to you, but someone on Facebook was selling one of the Fender John Mayer guitars. I had one of those back in the day as well. They were like, I had a few of those. I bought and sold them. They're like $1,500, and now because they stopped making them because John Mayer went to PRS, they're very hard to find in mint condition. And if you do find them in mint condition, they're usually up to $3,000, which is okay. It is what it is. I don't really see them for mint condition anymore because the years have gone by. But today someone had one on Facebook, and it's like all the finishes chipped off it. So it's like super relic, and they want $2,800, $2,850 for it. I was like, no, thank you. But again, it's just my opinion. Maybe you want a relic John Mayer Fender. That's fine. Hi, Sergio. How are you doing today? Good to see you here. You want a special effect too?
Hi, Sergio.
Someone said on my review that this annoyed them. I was like, this is the most fun thing ever. What are you talking about? I love it. Hey, anything that makes this fun, because when you're doing a live stream, you want to enjoy it, right? You want people to realize you're having a good time. And all this stuff to me just makes me have a better time. And I think that's a great thing. But I get it. When the effects are too loud, I've watched streams where this sound here has been too loud. That can be really annoying. So the reason I love the fader is I can just bring it down like that. Oh, here we go. I'm getting corrected by Real Ting again. Actually, tube amps don't need switching to standby to turn off. It's more for them to turn them on. So he's okay, fine. I was just making a point, Real Ting. I'm sure I read in my manuals they say you should put them on standby before you turn them off, though. Are you sure? Who told you that? Did Randall Smith tell you that? But I remember, like, I've seen like digital stuff. If a power just goes off on digital, it can like mess up the processor even more than on like analog gear. Beards and banjos, good to see you here. If you're new, please subscribe and ring the bell. I really would appreciate it. Look at this. Look, I got a little subscribe thing there now. Great job on your Rodecaster video. Have you tried using it with Logic or another DAW? Yes, I did. So basically, my first test and the thing that scared me is that I connected to Logic. And actually, I really want someone to tell me why this is. I really want to know the answer to this. Maybe I can play it for you on the recording. Because I also believe on this Rodecaster Pro, it's easier to route the computer audio through. Let me see if I still have the recording. So what I did was I went to Logic Pro, okay? And first of all, I took note of the latency differences. The Apollo is slightly lower latency on one of the settings, but not by much. So that doesn't bother me. But what I found was using this thing here, this to connect my amplifier, when I recorded or pressed play in Logic, there was noise and I'm using the XLR output. When I pressed the ground lift, it went away on the Apollo, but it didn't go away on the Rodecaster, which is why I almost didn't want to keep the Rodecaster. But then I tried again and it did go away on the Rodecaster. And my final thought was I'm probably not going to be recording albums with this Rodecaster, so it doesn't matter. But why is that? How come when you record on a computer or press play in Logic, it adds noise to your signal? And you have to lift the ground to get rid of it on the Apollo. Why is that? Why would Logic add noise like that? Does anyone know the reason? And let me open up Logic right now. This will be a live test. This could be really dangerous, but I'm going to try this for you. because I'm still learning this Rodecaster Pro myself. I made a recording of this sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can play this sound. Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can... I thought I just crashed. I'm so paranoid when I do new stuff. I'm going to see if I can play this sound through the Rodecaster for you. Because on the old Apollo, this was a real hassle. I don't like using these loopback apps and things. So this was a bit of a hassle. I had to change drivers and things to do this. But I think on Logic now, when I've got Rodecaster selected, first of all, let me find the sound that I'm talking about so I don't play you the wrong sound, because that would be really annoying. So you can hear this, right? It's so easy. I literally just have USB audio assigned to slider 4, which I assign myself by dragging and dropping. And now anything I play through Logic comes through, I believe, in real time, like no latency, just comes straight out of the output into this stream. So this is what I was recording when I did my test the other day. So this is the Captor X. Okay, so let me see if I can find that weird sound. I'm really curious about this. Just give me a second here. No, I can't find it. Yeah, this is basically it, okay? Let me just turn up the gain here, turn up level in Logic. You might have to wear headphones, you might have to watch this later on again, but this first recording here, this one, there's no, okay, I'll tell you when I hit play. I hit play now, there's not much, the noise floor is very low, ready? Very low noise floor, because that's an amp coming through, you can't really hear any noises. But then if I press the button on the back, I get this noise. It's very faint, but basically the noise floor just goes from like virtually nothing to something noticeable. And when I press the ground lift on this device, on the Captor X, when I've got the Apollo connected, that noise that came up then goes away completely. But on the Rodecaster Pro, I found that often, 99% of the times, it didn't go away completely. But again, I'm being really, really, really fussy about it, okay? So I don't, and there was one time I tried it and it didn't happen. It wasn't a problem. So at that point, I was like, well, I think this is just me being really fussy then. But what I love about this is I can just route any audio. So if I'm doing a Logic demo or something, I can just send that audio straight out into the stream. I don't have to reconfigure. Okay, to be fair, I think I could do this on the Apollo if this wasn't as easy. So it's just easier on this. It's just easier to just get it going, right? And that's really cool. I was teaching someone the other day what to run a backing track and play over it. And doing it the way I used to do it through Ecamm, there was a delay because Ecamm is rerouting the audio through its own driver, which adds latency. And then, again, you can do it with other with third-party software. You can do it in the Apollo if you go in there and reconfigure it. It's just easier in the Rodecaster Pro. It's already sending the audio out, and you just have to bring it up on a fader. And in my case, I've assigned it to fader 4, so I can just fade it up anytime that I want to. So I can play you a YouTube video, I can play you a video, I can play you Logic, and then if I plug a guitar in, of course, I can play over Logic as well. Okay, there shouldn't be any latency. For example, I'll just test that now. If I play the click track in Logic, so if I count to that, it should be in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, What I mean is it should be in sync, right? So I love that. I love it. For live streaming, this is just amazing. I mean, yeah, for recording, people said, like, can I do like recording overdubs and stuff? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's not such a great option for that, but anything to do with live streaming is just awesome. I love it. Okay, booting. Okay, fine. Okay, so I won't put it on standby anymore. I'll just turn it up. But if I blow a tube, it's your fault. And tubes are expensive now, okay? Might have been Andy Marshall. I learned a lot when he was running the THD AMP user forums. Jerry says, Jerry says,
Logic blows.
Use Pro Tools instead.
Well, Jerry, I like Logic. I think Logic is great. I use Logic. I use Final Cut Pro. I got no problem with it at all. I like it. It's good stuff. So I'm sure Pro Tools is great. The problem for me is I have to sit down and learn it all again, and I don't want to go through that. That's the other problem. Even switching from the Apollo to the Rodecaster Pro 2 for these live streams, you do have to, even though it's very simple and easy to use. Another person said the menu's not intuitive. I think they're really intuitive. But even then, you have to learn something new again. And that takes time and is kind of annoying. Beards and banjos. I can hear it. Sounds great. Awesome. I do karaoke streams on my channel using Ecamm Logic and all my fancy plugins. I'm hoping I can integrate. Yes, I'll go tomorrow. Great. Yeah, well, you can, of course. And by the way, there's already been 2 updates to the interface since I got mine, which is great. And you can update it over the Wi-Fi, like the Quad Cortex. I love that. When there's an update, you just hit Wi-Fi and downloads the device, and it's done. You haven't got to. I mean, I love the Apollo Twin, but you got to go on their website, download the file, put it, connect it in a certain way. And right now, you've still got to turn off security settings on your. I hate all that stuff. This thing, you just download the device and it's done. So cool. And yeah, of course, that's amazing because now what you can do is set up, you could set up backing tracks, guitar effects, and automation in Logic, and it just goes straight through to your stream in real time. There's no latency or anything. That's really cool. Jerry loves the voice transpose. Yeah. They're fun. You know, I mean, you won't use them all the time, but I made a comment in my video that this one is too loud. Oh my. I think there's no way to turn that down. And that pitch is so obnoxious, they need to let you turn that down somehow. But yeah, things like
this is really cool. 1, 2.
The funny thing is, like I said, when I do that effect, you don't hear my natural voice. When I do the pitch up, you hear my natural voice. I think there's a bug.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
So I don't know. That could just be a bug, I'm sure. Yeah, Jerry, I think you'd really like it. I tell you what, the Rodecaster Pro 2 and the Elgato Stream Deck with the M1 Mac is just amazing. Now, like I said, if I look right now, I've got the Stream Deck. It tells me how many people are watching. I can turn this on. I can turn this off. I can show this thing. I can hide it. I can end the stream, which I won't do yet. I can just basically add things to the screen just to make it more fun and to remind people to subscribe. I've got a new one here as well, which is Buy Me a Coffee, which I'll put up when your message goes away. So I like that. Although you can do all the things I'm doing on Stream Deck basically from the Rodecaster, I like having the Stream Deck over here just for this stuff. This is the new one I got. I like having the Stream Deck just to do these things on one screen without jumping. I do have other screens set up, but it's nice just to have basically the whole stream just to have one screen on Stream Deck to do this stuff. And then on the Rodecaster, that's, like I said earlier, it's all my audio. So it's all of the sound effects and the voice effects like that, and the music. And then having the physical slider is really nice, really cool. Oh dear, I need to block someone because they're being stupid. No, I don't make them moderator. There we go. Can you change your voice? Yeah, you can. You can. It's really easy. You go to the voice setting and
You tap on it, and then you tap on it again and press edit.
So I've got on or off. On or off is there.
On. And then you can change the settings as well.
There's like a megaphone, a pitch. You can change the pitch that it's actually doing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the presets to me are fine. So I like, this is called voice disguise.
Testing 1, 2.
This is called pitch up.
Testing 1, 2.
This is called megaphone. Testing 1, 2. Like, see, it kind of hurts with the headphones in. This is called monster.
Testing 1, 2.
This is called large robot. Testing 1, 2. Small robot. Testing 1, 2. Yes, affirmative. I like that one. Jerry, cherry, affirmative. Sensor. Too loud. They need to turn that down. There's no way to turn that down, which is annoying. And then ducking so you can talk over the music, which is cool. So press ducking and then talk, and this happens. Testing 1, 2. You see the volumes come down on the music, and as I release it, it goes up again. And of course you can fade it out with the fade. I love it, love it. Talking about trolls, I panicked and went over to my phone and did it there, but I forgot on Ecamm Live there's actually a ban button. You just hit ban and it does it from Ecamm Live. That's the better way to do it. It's from there. Did you see Tom Buck video where he used MIDI to sign one Logic? Yeah, you can do that too. Yep, yeah, that'd be great. So in Logic, you could have your backing track, your guitar effects loaded up, do everything from in Logic, and you can use these 6 physical faders as Logic faders. So you can use them to bring sound or change the mix in Logic too. Really nice. All MIDI controllable. It's really cool. No, I don't think it's supposed to. I think I saw someone else say that effect shouldn't have the dry signal in it. I think it's a bug, and I think they know about it, so that's cool. Because if you go into the settings on that effect, the dry signal isn't turned on, so I think that's a bug. Yeah, Thomas Moore, check out my full review. I really enjoyed making that review because I'm like, this is a product that I bought and I love, and I'm really excited to talk about it. And the cool thing about it is that I'm using it actually to make the video, because all the sound in that video is from that device. And therefore you can also go back to like last week's live stream, Gear Chat, and compare the audio on that with the old setup to today's stream or with that Apollo Twin, which is cool. Well, Jerry, I usually have Rosanna here doing moderating as well. So if that happens, she will block them, but they're in Mexico right now. So I have to be my own moderator. There's Lee. Lee, I needed you just now. I had a troll in here. The troll came in and you guys weren't here to stand on the troll. I had to do it myself. Raining in Mexico. Sorry to hear that. Just sat on the balcony and played CCR. Have you ever seen the rain? No, I don't agree, Jerry, because when I do that with these headphones on, oh my, there's another troll. I don't know. I would personally like to bring that down about 3 decibels, because I know when you watch a stream and an effect comes on, a sound effect comes on really loud, it can be annoying if you're wearing like headphones. So I would change that. Future-proof. We see, Jerry, I just mentioned this before you got here. Never buy a piece of gear because a company has made regular updates in the past and because people tell you there'll be regular updates. What if there's not? What if Rode closed down next week? Is that device good today? Yes, it is. You should order one. Definitely. It's great. I have a link in the description to the Sweetwater. You should get one because it's great now and it will get better. Don't ever buy something because people on the internet tell you that the company will release new firmware, because what if they don't? You've got to be careful with that. Someone said it gets hot. I thought that too, but actually it's not. It's only a little bit hot right now. Oh, don't worry, Lee. I got that. I'm just kidding. It's fine. Fitting for the sound. Yeah, I guess. I just like to bring it down 2 or 3 decibels. I'm just, I'm very conscious of this stuff not being over the top in the videos. All right, so we've been on for an hour and a half. So I want to say happy Father's Day to everybody. I really enjoyed today's stream. I like mixing it up. I wanted to do a bit of music. So if you tuned in later, go and watch the replay. I played the Authentic Martin at the start of the stream just for a few cover songs. Go and check that out. I enjoyed talking about my thoughts about the stuff I've been reviewing this week. And I got some reviews coming next week. So this week coming, there's no stream tomorrow because I have a gig. But Tuesday, I'm taking the lyric pickup to be installed. I know a lot of people are interested in the lyric pickup, so I'll be demoing that on the stream probably next week, and I'm reviewing it soon on a video. I think the next couple of days I will have that video of the vintage Martin on the channel. So lots of stuff coming. All you got to do really is subscribe and ring the bell, and then you'll be notified of whenever I post a video or go live. Wednesday is my birthday. I'm accepting virtual e-cards and coffees. So if you found any use today from what I spoke about, feel free to buy me a coffee. I'll use that for my birthday. Might go live on Wednesday. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I'm tempted to go live and have a little birthday party here, but I don't know if I will or not. We'll see. Sergio, thank you. Yeah, exactly. MIDI is great. Everything should have MIDI because if you don't need to use it, it's fine. But if you want to use it, then it's worth having. I'm going to say goodbye. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in the next live stream or recorded video. Take care and be well. I appreciate you being here and spending time with me today. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Then I'm going to press the button on my Stream Deck that ends the stream. And I'm going to use the voice effect on the Rodecaster Pro.
Thank you, everybody. It's been great to see you. Actually, I like my voice like this. I might just leave this on all the time. Bye-bye.
Meet me at the station at midnight. Wear your high heels, your red dress, and your smile. You look just like this other girl I knew. She was beautiful. And if you want to, maybe we can stay a little longer, stay a little longer. Yeah, we'll dance all night. Yeah, we'll dance all night.